Thanks so much. That was amazing. You wove so much cyclical imagery and feeling throughout every layer of that piece. That was really, really cool. Thanks, dude. One more time. Okay, next up we have Han.
It's Han, but that's fine.
Okay, sorry.
Hello. I'm Han. It's my first time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some stuff that I've written recently. I got very into poetry. A thing happened to me. We'll talk about it later. But I have to read something that's just in my pocket because of something that Rose said. So this is for the mother who paid the trans and questioning price for the anger of wolves. This is called A Poem to Make Your Mom Want to Be a Trans Faggot. By Andy Izenson, from The World That Is Coming Inside You. I am not a homewrecker in the sense that I am going to sleep with your husband. Although I might sleep with your husband. What I mean is that if nobody ever told you before, then let me be the one to tell you. If you think you can't be good enough at being a woman to make it stop hurting, you're right. I know you're afraid, and I can't tell you not to be. I know that you have bedtimes, hard times, bloodless knuckles, rules and safeties piled teetering on the toy soldier of your resolve, 100 hands grasping for the familiar shape of you, and I wonder if you've been wide-eyed at 5 in the hungry morning, holding on still to keep the overfull cup of your want from slipping out into sobs. If you've dragged your thoughts like desperate dog away from the eternal escape hatch of maybe my car will just, maybe someday will just somebody, this airplane, maybe this axe, maybe. If you've got something hidden in the bottom of the sock drawer of your spirit that you only let yourself look at once a month, if you've been wishing for something you could pray to for an earthquake, look, I don't know what angel of ego death took my hand and told me I was allowed. You put these landmines here yourself. Nobody needs to show you the door. Your world has been warping to circle toward it a little more every day. There's no key anyone can hand you, but here we are. You, hungry for newness in a way that you can only understand as the desire to be fucked, and me, symbolizing nothing but myself, ready to love what you're hatching yourself into with my whole heart, and then dissipate into a memory of pleasure. You haven't breathed this air before, so if you're lightheaded, if you're hungry, if it aches, step forward slowly. Step back slowly. You're going to have to relearn how to dance. I got this book in the mail a couple of days ago from the author. I backed it on Kickstarter. And it was one of these things, like we were Facebook friends for a long time, and put up this post that was like, I'm just about to get to this next level of funding. I'm going to be able to do an audiobook. If somebody will get me there, I'll give you eternal glory and scream your name into the mouth of the moon and send you handwritten poetry. And I was like, I've never read this person's poetry, but like, I want a trans person to have a nice thing. So that's $70, right? And I was like, don't give me any perks. I don't need a copy of the book. But then I actually invited it to come on my podcast, coincidentally, to talk about the sermon of necromancers and cavaliers. We need to get into that. And so I got a PDF anyway. And I read a third of it while I was fucking someone, and then kind of put it down. But it's very good. It's very good. I do also recommend that being the first experience of the book. But when I got further into it, later, something kind of happened. So there's one more that I have to share from this book before the poem that I'm going to share that I wrote makes sense. So It's so short. There's so much in here. Where is it though? It just kind of opened to the right pages at one point, and suddenly it doesn't anymore. Here we go. Spiders. The playful fingers of the cosmos mine me for cortisol. They twist and crook, my body surrenders and drools steroid hormone mess. I poured overproof vodka heavy-handed into the cast iron bowl stolen from an abandoned monastery. When I lit, the splash of blue reached out for my eyes. My eyes grind like an engine trying to turn over when I put on your glasses instead of mine, dazed from your mouth. The prescription's not right, but lover, I am on a transcontinental flight and I can still feel your thigh under the sole of my boot. The cortisol is the same. The tears live just under my skin. The spiders are the same even after 1,200 years, when my plastic heart at last has decomposed. Towers fall every night in my dreams, styrofoam painted to look like stone. The floors buck under my feet. I am certain I am about to die. The cortisol flows as you spit wine into my mouth, the line of police advances. I want to imagine every song you sing to yourself is about me. I spent so long making you promises about the end of the world that now your legs are wrapped around me on the hood of a burning squad car. It makes me want to quit smoking. The flames reach out for our eyes. So that is the world that is coming inside you. Woo! Woo! And since I read it, I have written poetry almost every day. My love for you is the magic in the revolution. My love for you is the terror in the apocalypse. My love for you is wondering if the terror in the apocalypse wasn't just a wet hole begging for as much revolution as we can fit. I have another piece that I was sort of almost hoping that I would run the clock out on and not have to do. But poetry can be so short.
Yeah.
My desire is bigger than my fear. Things I would like to be caught doing to convince Andy Izenson, author of The World That Is Coming Inside You, to fall in love with me. One, I live in the revolution. Not for this reason, but it is very hot of me. Footnote, I'm guided by anything but itself. It could be anything. Two, thinking carefully and feeling recklessly. Footnote, is this anything? Is this anything? I am reading to you like I've been reading to you for years. Three, I already voluntarily receive the willing service of others. But like I could receive more. Footnote, what gives you permission to craft your body into a living prayer? 4, reading their poetry while pretending that it is about me as a sex thing. Footnote, how many times have we lived in the rolling tide pool of this meeting, you and I? 5, saying that I am hot and cool. Footnote, she's been there the whole time, just waiting for you to figure out how to touch her. 6, welcoming but not insisting upon things I do not want to hear. Footnote, each of these newnesses is a liturgy. 7, knowing that what I am hiding is not worse than what they are, both are fine. 7, footnote, admittedly, I do not know if this is struck through. It is strictly necessary to host a 3-hour panel discussion on the nature of redemptive confession and mercy in the Gideon the Ninth pool scene at the same time. Sins are choices guided by fear instead of love. Let me lay my cheek against your spine and atone. 8. Reading their poetry without pretending that it is not also about me as a political thing. Footnote, I listen for you in the pounding ocean and the giggling creek, each droplet a love letter from the source. Wake up and come with me, wake up and come with me, the spring is here. 9, apologizing. Not apologizing. It says I am just a boy in the footnote, but a boy is crossed out. 10. Recognizing that I am good at poetry and art and writing and desire and sex and shame. Footnote, the cortisol flows as you spit wine into my mouth. Part of this is crossed out. The line of police advances. It doesn't. I want you like undertow, and it's your magic and my magic, and it's real. And 11, reading their poetry as if it is exclusively about me, as a religious thing. Footnote, I write all my poems to you. It is crossed out. I write all my poems about you. It is crossed out. I write all my poems to you. It is crossed out. 12, inviting them to fall in love with me, clearly and bravely and only tastefully embellished. Footnote, pull me in, enfold me. Let me find you in every opening. Let me rejoice in the scent of you. Let me open my shame to your sunlight. Let me be powerful under your gaze. 13, surrendering to staggering, visceral uncertainty. Footnote, I will be closer to harmony next year than I am today. This is crossed out. There is nothing to be afraid of. This is crossed out. I am ready. This is crossed out. Before this, I thought I had seen all the colors. 14, kissing the hem of their garment. Footnote, taking them into myself, consuming them, body and soul, because it is unethical and objectively disgusting and won't even work. Becoming something even more monstrous and unforgivable than a thing that would stuff such a holy object in its profane mouth. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Most of this is crossed out. There is nothing to be afraid of. This is crossed out. But God, look at this flower. So I got the hard copy in the mail this week. And in the front, it says, when I say you in this, I mean you as my reader, a bond that is intimate and erotic because it is a glory hole and I cannot see your face. I can only, and it cuts off. But there's more. I mean the mushroom goddess who shows me the lace and the leaves. How do I say this so it doesn't feel like theater? It's you. It's you. It's you. Really recommend The World That Is Coming Inside You. It'll change your life. I assume in the same way that it has changed mine.